All right, welcome everyone. Wow. I just don't even know what to say. This has been such an amazing turnout. Come on in, take your seats. So I just want to let everybody know I was really honored when Dina and Eric and Joni asked me to run this event. And it was really all of your support and your participation and the amazing spirit that made this day such a joy. Everyone in this room really created a magnificent vibe, and for that, I thank you. All right, as I gave thought to today's installation, I reached deep down into my yeshiva girl days. And I remembered that in the Talmud, when something is described as being extremely challenging, they take a cue from the coming week's Parsha. And the expression used is, it's as difficult as splitting the Red Sea. I would say our search over the last 10 plus years for the perfect rabbi definitely qualifies as difficult as parting the Red Sea. How appropriate that we welcome Rabbi Pivo today in between the Parshiot about the birth of our nation as the Jewish people left Egypt and the emergence of their new leader. This is an important occasion for our shul, and I hope it's okay that I say on behalf of EBJC that we are thrilled to officially welcome Rabbi Pivo, our leader, and his family to our community. All right. So now I will leave you in the good hands of our presidents, Dina Oren and Eric Pawlowski.
Wow, thank you everybody for coming out. Thank you for everybody for all the support. I'd like to share with you my first impression of Rabbi Pivo. Your Rabbinic Search Committee, under the skillful leadership of Marilyn Friedis and Dr. Phil Schiffman, had interviewed 9 candidates at that point, and we had invited 2 to spend Shabbat. Originally, we started out by agreeing not to compromise, and Julie had said to us that we will find our bashert, our intended. We should not worry. We had decided in advance that we were to speak with every candidate that comes by. We had at this point thought that all the applications had come in, but to our surprise, one more did come up, and the resume looked great. So this would not be a situation where we would say no to the 15 minutes that we had already agreed upon. We had the system already down pat at this point, and the system was that 3 individuals would speak with the rabbi, and with the candidate's consent, the rest of us would be listening in. The 15 minutes with Rabbi Pivo turned into 30, and when it was over and time to consult each other on what to do next, we almost simultaneously said, wow, let's get him here now. They say first reactions aren't wrong, and this one certainly was not. Rabbi Pivo has been wowing us ever since. He has brought us together in many ways. The congregation's vote to ratify the selection was actually unanimous. I think that might have been our only time in history. And after the vote, we had the pleasure of Skyping with the rabbi, where he said to us, "You made the right decision." And of course, we all laughed just like you did. It has been amazing so far. The excitement continues with sermons that speak to us on Shabbat and Torah thoughts on YouTube where pearls of wisdom can be extracted, and I really do that every week, such as this week's, and if you haven't had a chance on Friday to listen to it, please do. Rabbi Pivo speaks of the pause in the description of the plagues after the 9th plague to describe the observance of Pesach, Passover. And by doing so, the Torah collapses past and present into one, having the past participants see into their own future, and the present ones see and feel the sensations and experiences of the past. We are all one people. Positivity at EBJC is at an all-time high, highlighted by new and returning members that have actually shared their impression of warmth and inclusiveness. Volunteerism and donations are ever increasing, as evident in your participation in this exciting moment. We have never had so many people come out together, short of the high holidays, and we are touched by the outpouring of generosity. Eric and I are truly blessed to have been selected to serve at such an exciting time, and our entire family community is blessed to have Rabbi Pivo as our spiritual leader. We have a tradition at the end of Shabbat services to say Mazel Tov to members on their momentous life events. Let's all say together a heartfelt Mazel Tov to us all. Mazel Tov. Lisa, please come up. Behind every great man is a great woman. Yes, bring it with you. When you and I first met, I saw you as a brilliant, warm, and special person who loves and supports her husband in every way. We are so happy to have you here at EBJC within our family. Please know that we are grateful to you for choosing EBJC, and we are very grateful to Celia, Max, and Zach for sharing Jeff, or as we call him, Rabbi Pivo, with us. Please, I'd like you to know how warmly we feel about you.
Thank you. It's all returned.
Would you like to? Or on your kids' behalf?
Okay.
It's up to you.
Sure. Thank you. I actually did not prepare anything to say. I didn't know I was going to be coming up. I thought this was all about Jeff, but what I do want to share with you, because I have been asked a couple times already today, are all the kids here? Unfortunately, they couldn't all be with us. In fact, Zachary is here, but Max right now is in Israel on his senior class trip from high school, and Celia's in the middle of her college midterms. So they weren't able to be here, but they both sent me something that they'd like me to say to their dad and to all of you at this time. So if you don't mind, I'm just going to read it. It's very short. They really don't have much time where they are. So Celia said, "Daddy, I'm sorry I can't be with you to celebrate today. I wish you and the entire EBJC congregation joy and meaning in all of your endeavors, and that you may all go from strength to strength. I'm proud of you, Daddy. Mazel Tov. Love, Celia." Max said, "Father, hey there. I'm writing this from the Holy Land during our free weekend in Jerusalem. First of all, a hearty congratulations on the installation. I'm sure it'll be a good time, and I already know that the synagogue found the right guy for the job." He shares his dad's confidence, apparently. "We all know it'll be a challenge, but it's one for which you're well prepared. Israel has been amazing, if you're wondering. I really have learned a lot and gained a newfound appreciation for Eretz HaKodesh and its history. I miss Chicago and New Jersey, specifically Milo, our dog. But there's nowhere I'd rather be right now. I'm truly humbled by the grace and skill with which you perform your job. So know that being the son of a rabbi, and specifically your son, has had a profound effect on my life. Enjoy the festivities, and I'll see you soon. Love, Max. Hashtag EBJC Revolution." Thank you all for the wonderful welcome that you've extended to us. We feel so warmly welcomed here and so happy to be here. And I will stop there. Thank you, Dina. Thank you.
Awesome. And now, it is with honor and great pleasure to ask one of our own members, Mayor Dr. Brad Cohen, to speak on behalf of the East Brunswick Township and the entire community. Thank you, Mayor, for being with us here today and for your support for us and for the great work you do for our town. Mayor?
Thank you. Good morning, everybody. I don't need to tell you that we live in such unbelievable times right now. The world seems to be more divided as we speak. We don't really actually need to do anything other than turn on a TV or a phone and see how the world's become so much more divided. It's scary. And it's not just government. It's actually something that I believe sort of trickled down and almost become part of the American psyche today, and it really bothers me a lot. It even trickled down when I was on the school board before becoming president, whether it was an issue, not president, gosh. I don't think I want that job. Believe me. Even when I was on school board, whether it was an issue over park testing, when people were at their throats over the reality that we live in a world where people are graduating with degrees that are almost meaningless, and so we try to come up with a test and a curriculum that actually shows that there's a meaning for a high school diploma, and yet we come up with a program and a testing sequence that really doesn't work. But nobody wants to compromise. They just want to yell at one another. And we're not really that divorced from that even here. I recall not that long ago, before we were lucky enough to find the right rabbi, that the rumor around town was that this shul was going and that it was over. And I think we as Jews need to lead the example. I think we know something about survival. We've been around for thousands of years and we didn't always get along. And yet we have managed to survive. What's the one thing that two Jews can agree upon? That's an old joke. You must all know the answer. You know, how much the third Jew should give to charity. So the reality is we do know something about compromise, and I see that, finally and fortunately, in the rabbi that you selected. We have our issues, and yet he's willing to take these issues up front and honestly in an open dialogue. And for once, I think moderates and people who want to compromise and come to some sort of consensus are winning the day. We need a little bit more of that. So I on behalf of the township, wish you the absolute best. I truly believe that your days are mirrored with the shul's days, and that our days, our greatest days are ahead of us. So on behalf of the township, I do want to read a proclamation that we did put together in honor of this day, and that is, whereas Rabbi Jeff Pivo received his PA in Jewish Studies from UCLA in 1994 and Master's from Hebrew Letters and ordination from the Jewish Theological Seminary in 2000, he and his wife Lisa have 4 children, Aaron, Celia, Max, and Zachary. And whereas Rabbi Pivo taught for a year at Solomon Schechter Day School of Bergen County before becoming rabbi for 2 years at Temple Hatikva in Flanders, and then serving 8 years at Congregation Bethel in Yardley, PA. He came to EBJC after serving for 6 years at Congregation Beth Judea in the Chicago suburb of Long Grove. And whereas Rabbi Pivo is committed to connecting Jews with their faith, tradition, and each other, he has worked to build interfaith relationships through programs like the East Brunswick Interfaith Thanksgiving Program. And whereas Rabbi Pivo is looking forward to the possibility of integrating women further into the religious life and seeing EBJC become a pluralistic conservative synagogue while holding on to its traditions, and whereas after an exhaustive search on the part of the East Brunswick Jewish Center to find a new, exciting, insightful, and exemplary spiritual leader, Rabbi Jeff Pivo was selected to lead this congregation and his community. Now, therefore, be it proclaimed that I, Brad J. Cohen, Mayor of the Township of East Brunswick, do hereby welcome Rabbi Jeff Pivo to our East Brunswick community and wish him all the best.
Good morning. I have the great honor of introducing Rabbi Esther Reed Schwartz. As many as you know, Esther grew up at EBJC. She is a graduate of Bryn Mawr College, and she received both of her master's degrees, Jewish Women's Studies and Rabbinic ordination at the Jewish Theological Seminary of New York. She is a conservative rabbi and a senior associate director at Rutgers Hillel. Besides being a great friend, she is also a neighbor of mine living in Highland Park with her husband, Rabbi Morty Schwartz, and their 3 sons, Isaac, Sammy, and Jonah. Please welcome Rabbi Esther Reed to the Pivo.
I've been asked to run the installation ceremony, which is a very short ceremony. It includes a few biblical verses, a short Dvar Torah, and a few more biblical verses. That's it. Ashrei yoshvei vetecha od yahalu chasela. Ashrei ha'am shekachalo. Ashrei ha'am she'adonai Elohav. Blessed are they who dwell in your house. They shall praise you forever. Blessed are the people who are so favored. Blessed are the people whose God is Adonai. Adonai, our God and God of our ancestors, source of all blessing, we pray that the rabbi of this congregation shall lead it with the blessing of your spirit. Grant Rabbi Jeff Pivo a wise heart, candor in speech, the courage to act decisively, and the strength to respond to every challenge with dignity. Give him a full measure of your compassion, that he may be the instrument of your ancient promise. V'natati lachem ro'im ki libi, v'ra'u etchem de'ah v'haskel. I will give you shepherds after my own heart, who shall nurture you with knowledge and understanding, and let us say, Amen. As you've heard, I grew up in this congregation. My parents, Barbara Reed, and my stepfather, Michael Kessler, are here today, right in the front. You might know them better than you know me, because they're here more regularly than I am these days. And my family have been members here since I was 11 years old. I had my bat mitzvah here, right on this bima. I went to Hebrew school here, Hebrew high school. I was involved with Kadima and USY. Eric Polofsky, your co-president, and I grew up together, and we're still good friends. My children still attend school in this complex. My children were at the Solomon Schechter Day School of blessed memory and are now attending Nitivot. So my children still here at East Brunswick Jewish Center. Being here for me, anytime I come here, it's really like coming home. My parents live 2 blocks away, so it's my old neighborhood. Rabbi Rog, I should go this way? Okay. Rabbi Rogoff was the rabbi during my formative years when I was growing up. And I got to know Rabbi Richardson and Maureen before they even came to East Brunswick. They ended up being my landlords when I got an apartment in Jerusalem when I was studying in rabbinical school. And we became friends through that relationship, and we became very close. Rabbi Richardson actually sang one of the Sheva Brachot under the chuppah at my wedding, and we all miss him very much. And it's wonderful to see Maureen here today. And now I am here to install my friend, Rabbi Jeff Pivo. We studied together at the Jewish Theological Seminary. And when he first moved to the area a few months ago, I contacted him right away to welcome him to what we like to call the heart of New Jersey, and to let him know that I live nearby and grew up here and was happy to serve as a resource if there was anything he or his family needed. Rabbi Pivo is someone who represents the best of what we stand for. Conserving our tradition, which is so dear to us, and yet still enabling change. He's a great asset to this community. In this week's Parsha, Parshat Bashalach, Moshe leads Bnei Yisrael out of Egypt and into the wilderness. Moshe was our greatest leader described in the Torah. He spoke with God face to face, and yet even Moshe needed help. As we'll learn in the Parsha after this week in Yitro, Moshe was encouraged to appoint judges, to appoint other people to help, to delegate, so that there were more people who would help with leading the community. There's a midrash in Devarim Rabbah that points to this and offers wise words that applies for today. A community is too heavy to carry alone. We are all here today to install Rabbi Pivo, but he cannot carry the community alone. Each of you is here, whether you are sponsors, and I know there are many, many sponsors here, or just participants, whether you're connected with this congregation by attending services on Shabbat, coming to Daily Minyan, the Men's Club, the Sisterhood, Bikur Cholim, adult education, social action, Israel activities, and there's more that I'm not even describing. It's like the Midrash says, a community is too heavy to carry alone. And each and every one of you has a role in helping and supporting Rabbi Pivo so that he can carry this community together with all of you. With that in mind, I'm going to call up the two presidents who are going to recite a quote from the book of Joshua to end the official part, my part of the installation ceremony. And moment, not yet, in a moment they'll open the ark, and when they do, I'll ask everyone to rise, but not yet. I just want to explain that they're going to be reading something from the book of Joshua. It is written in the book of Joshua that God spoke to the prophet as he was about to assume leadership of the people. We repeat these words now to the rabbi of this congregation with the prayer that God will be with him in every task. I ask everyone to please rise.
לא ימוש ספר התורה הזה מפיך, והגית בו יומם ולילה, למען תשמור לעשות ככל הכתוב בו, כי אז תצליח את דרכך ואז תשכיל. הלא ציוויתיך, חזק ואמץ, אל תערוץ ואל תחת, כי עמך אדוני אלוהיך בכל אשר תלך.
Let not this book of Torah cease from your lips, but recite it day and night, so that you may observe faithfully all that is written in it. Only then will you prosper in your undertakings, and only then will you succeed. Be successful. I charge you, be strong and resolute. Proceed with courage and confidence, for Adonai your God is with you wherever you go.
Let's all say Amen. Once the ark is completely closed, you may be seated.
I am so grateful that Esther did it first. I'm so grateful to all that are here today, our congregants, our community, our staff, my rabbinic colleagues, Mayor Cohen and dignitaries, any furloughed government employees who have the day off. That worked better than I thought. I want to thank my friend and colleague, Rabbi Esther Reed, for being with us here today and formally installing me as Rabbi of EBJC. As heard, I first knew Rabbi Reed at the seminary many years ago, and it's a pleasure now to call her my colleague. I'm very proud of that. When she recently gave me a tour of the Hillel facility, which is just gorgeous, I was very much taken with both its aesthetic beauty and with its purposeful design. The spaces at Hillel lift up all who go there, not only because it looks nice, but because each of its spaces is dedicated to a particular need of many different kinds of Jews. For those who want a mechitza during prayer, there is room for that. For those who want to pray in the round with mixed genders, there's room for that. For those who seek a space for study or reflection or for direct action in support of Israel, there is room for that. Each of these rooms plays its role in meeting the spiritual, social, and educational needs of college-age students, regardless of their background, regardless of their religious orientation. The role of a synagogue, particularly a conservative synagogue, is to meet those same needs and provide those same spaces for members of the Jewish community at large, no matter their orientation or their background. This week, as we've heard, we read the dramatic culmination of the Israelites' escape from bondage, of their long suffering in Mitzrayim. Leaving slavery, leaving an unhappy past behind, was not achieved in a single stroke. There were negotiations with Pharaoh, the calamitous plagues that were rained down upon Egypt, the midnight rush of the Israelites to begin their journey, their seeming trap between the Sea of Reeds and the oncoming Egyptian army. It was only after the people traversed the sea and the waters piled up like walls on either side, with Pharaoh's pursuing chariots swallowed up by the enclosing waters, does the Exodus proper begin. In this week's Parsha, we have the very moving Shir Shal Yam. The Shirat Hayam is the song of the sea, the words that the people spontaneously shouted out in joy at their deliverance. It is the beginning of a new chapter for them, one which moves only forward. The transformation of the Israelites into a community marching forward together toward the future. Well, you could probably write the rest of this speech yourselves, but since I already have, let me spell it out. The Exodus was not a one-time event. It is rather the Jewish template for every struggle from which we are redeemed. The reason we observe Passover for 8 days each year, and we invoke the Exodus during our Kiddush, and every morning in prayer when we recite Shirat Hayam, the Song of the Sea, the purpose is one of imagining ourselves as actual participants in the Exodus. The members of this community have gone through their share of trouble in recent years, probably more than their fair share. Now it is time to leave behind the chains of distress, of regret, of disappointment. It's time to leave behind the shackles of injury inflicted upon us and self-inflicted. It's time to leave behind recrimination. In the 5 months since I came here, I have already sensed a palpable change in the outlook and the affect of our community, a sense of hope and of possibility in the future. I am no Moses, but if the troubles of our past are our Mitzrayim, now is our time to march forward with courage, with integrity, as one community looking forward with hope and joy to our shared future. This spring, we will have several opportunities to take the next steps on that journey as we discuss who we are and who we are becoming. In a series of weekday and Shabbat sessions, we will continue to explore what it means to be a conservative Jew, a traditional Jew, an egalitarian Jew, a pluralistic Jew. We will move through those conversations with love, with empathy for one another, and with a commitment to a revitalized and growing synagogue. I will not have it any other way. We all owe many thanks to our friend Amy Schaefer and to her committee, and to all who have worked so hard in planning and coordinating today's activities. There are so many, really innumerable details that go into planning a complex event like this, and we are truly grateful for Amy's thoughtfulness in bringing us all together in such a beautiful way. That's appropriate. Lisa and I and our family are humbled by your unbelievable show of support on this day. We are truly grateful to have found our way to this community. May it be God's will that this community grow ever more caring and more welcoming as we enter the unknown wilderness of our future in search of a deliverance for which we so deeply yearn, for a redemption beyond what we have yet to imagine. Thank you all.
Shall be renewed, and the new shall be saved. Everyone loved it. I thought it was.
pressure. We need bigger applause for these guys. Come on. Oh, my Lord, you guys are amazing. Hang with me here? All right. Oh my gosh, that amazing. Thank you for that amazing presentation. All right, we did it. But before we conclude today's ceremony, I just want to extend thank yous again to our outstanding installation committee. We read the names in shul yesterday, but they deserve to be mentioned again. So Holly Cerami, I won't make you stand up, but Holly, thank you for everything. Ann Kroll, Josh Sapol and Dory Sapol for beautiful decorations. Debbie Friedman, Alana Levitt, Lissa Smith, Lisa Kaplan, Leora Meller, J-Lo Payton, Andrea Kostick, Gloria Nadler, Ellen Botwin, and Julie Schwartzwald. The amazing Cole Kesher, amazing people to work with. Steve Zeidberg for taking on everything parking and the facilities related in the building. Oh, thank you. The amazing EBJC staff and maintenance crew. EBJC, everybody deserves like their own. I won't say wait till the end because everybody was great. The EBJC Mitzvah Corp for donating all the champagne and drinks today. They came to me. I did not have to go to them. Amazing. Judy and Jack Steinweiss and Ed Pilzer for putting that great song together all the way from Florida, really. Yasher Koach, thank you. My incredible family they know. And last but not least, to our generous sponsors who it just kept rolling in every day. I mean, Debbie had to work on the sheet and we kept having to make the words smaller on top so we could fit all the names, which was just unbelievable. But you really made this event incredibly successful, and we were able to buy the rabbi a beautiful chair for his new office with some of the extra funds. So thank you. That was really amazing. And all right, before we all head into brunch, I want to call up Raymond and the rabbi for Hamotzi, and then we'll have brunch and enjoy the rest of the day, and thank you again for coming. Really appreciate it.
Simento? While we're waiting, Semen Tov, oh Mazel Tov, oh Mazel Tov, Semen Tov, oh Mazel Tov, oh Mazel Tov, Semen Tov, oh Mazel Tov, Semen Tov, Yehei lanu, Yehei lanu, Ulechol Yisrael,
Yehei lanu. A little more koach, please. Yehei lanu, Ulechol Yisrael. You're not loud enough. Ulechol Yisrael. Why do you need? How many Jews does it take to say two brachot? That's this joke right here. I want everyone to know that we as a family and I as rabbi are starting a new chapter in my career and in our lives here in East Brunswick. And I am very honored to be standing here today with a good friend of all of us, Mr. Raymond Sasson. Raymond is a very humble person and has not allowed us to celebrate him properly. So I asked, and Amy asked him if he would please honor us by saying Hamotzi as we begin this time together, and as he shifts into retirement mode as our bookkeeper after many years of service. We thank you for all you have given us and continue to give us.
Hear, hear. Amen. Thank you, everyone, for coming out. Thank you, Amy. An amazing vision, wonderful execution. We are so grateful to you.